Mayang buntag, mayang hapon, mayang gabi. I have audio and it's actually working right today. But now I'm going to turn it down because having that in my ear and trying to talk and having the half-second delay is really kind of confusing things. Hey, Mr. Brandon, good seeing you again. That Do you happen to know a YouTuber, uh, Mark Shoemake, Marky Shoemake from Dumaguete area? The uh, I'm actually going to just jump right into this one because we'll let people catch up. That For anybody that doesn't know Mark, that he's a YouTuber. He's been in Philippines for almost 10 years, I believe. I want to say he said he's been there a little over 9 years at this point. He lived in Dumaguete for the longest time, and that's kind of where he built his channel. And him and his wife finally bought a piece of property, Himalado, something like that. A little bit north of Dumaguete, about half an hour, 45 minutes north of Dumaguete. That her family owns the property up there and sold them a chunk of it for a really reasonable price. And they liked it, and they built a small house on there and all that fun stuff. But he started having some pains and such, and was definitely that age that went down and got a colonoscopy at Silliman University Hospital, and it came back as colon cancer. And so he realized, and the cost of everything that they were wanting to do was just not realistic. But he was smart enough that he kept Medicare Part A on his coming out of his Social Security, so that was still in place. He had set up a bunch of stuff to come to San Francisco and get treated. That when he got into San Francisco, I guess it was an issue with he didn't have a U.S. address, and that there was some problems with that. And he spent 2+ weeks trying to get into doctors, trying to get in to be seen, trying to get everything done, and just was getting nowhere. It was just spinning his wheels. And the family he was staying with, that they needed to go back to Vegas, I believe Vegas, but they needed to get out of there as well. And so he was running out of a place to stay, literally. And he tried getting transitional housing and everything else, but the waiting list for everything like that was so horrendous that he just couldn't do it. And good morning, Mr. Daniel. How you doing today? But I kind of half-heartedly, kind of seriously made the offer that if you needed it, come on over to Phoenix, and we can give you a place to stay. If nothing else, we'll put you up in the trailer for a little bit until you can get seen. That I know there's a couple good cancer treatment centers here, and so and I made sure it was cool with Cindy and all that fun stuff. And what I didn't expect is he had a plane ticket later that day. That things were getting that desperate for him. Oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. But so he got here Monday night about 10:30, 11 o'clock Monday night. And Tuesday morning, I ran him up to the old John C. Lincoln, the Honor Health Brandon, you'll know where this one is. On I-17 and 101, and I've known other people to go there without a problem, and have good luck. And fortunately, he got in. They got the MRI. They got the CAT scan done last night, and that he had a bleeding ulcers in both his stomach and colon, and so that needs, they said that needs immediate treatment, and checked him in, and then we're scheduling another colonoscopy to verify what was going on, and scheduling surgery for the bleeding ulcers and whatever was needed after pending results of the colonoscopy. So I still haven't heard back from him yet, but he was saying it was going to be 6 to 9 hours in surgery today, and then probably be out of it for most of today. I'm kind of expecting to hear a little bit tonight or possibly tomorrow morning. But that's kind of one of the issues. And Daniel can probably give a whole lot on that one. That medical in the Philippines can be good. It can be very good. But anything major or anything serious or anything advanced, yeah, you need to come back to the States. It's looking like that there may have been a misdiagnosis about the colon cancer, that it may not be colon cancer. But until they get in there and do the colonoscopy, that they can't say for sure either way. But unquestionably, there is stuff that needs to be addressed and needs to be addressed immediately. But yeah, that was kind of our thing this week. Is we were getting planned for that, and I got his okay to talk about it and let people know what's going on. That we were gonna go for a trip this weekend up to Flagstaff to catch the last of or to catch some of the fall leaves, but obviously that got put off. Brandon, we were actually going to get with you and see if you wanted to go back up to Flagstaff the first weekend in November, but that one's kind of up in the air at best right now. That we're not entirely sure we're going to make that trip. A little bit of it depending on what goes on with Mark. Daniel, are you sure it's not just a bad flu? That it's coming up on flu season, especially in Pennsylvania. That we're expecting, and we've got some other friends that have made a comment that they've got several friends that have the care homes. That if worst case, that he does need in-home care afterwards, that there's a real good chance that they'll be able to get him in there into somewhere, so that he knows he will get taken care of. That there are means in place. Yeah, I'm still avoiding the COVID thing. I don't have a problem with people that get them. That's very cool. But it's just not my thing. It's just not my gig. I've never gotten flu shots. Cindy's gotten flu shots 3 times, and all 3 times got horribly sick from it. And so, she doesn't get flu shots anymore. But like I say, I don't have a problem with people that want to get them, but just not something for me. I'd rather get the flu and be done with it, and know that that I'm not going to have an issue. Uh, and as far as the COVID, I still swear up and down, and we've been tested and have the antibodies for it, but I will still swear up and down I got it early on with this, and so by all rights I should have the natural immunity to it. And there's talk that they may be dropping the mandates here sometime November, December. But again, it's too late for this holiday season. The best they can do is if they drop them early enough, maybe pick up some Cinelog travel. But by then, it'll be so close to Cinelog that the cost of getting there will be insane, and I don't think people are going to travel because of that. And then somebody else just made a Facebook post that I'll try and look at real quick. That they just did a there we go. Omicron XBC and Omicron XBB. that they're, they're talking about that, and one had 193 cases, and the other one had 81 cases countrywide. So yeah, I think they're in about round 42 of this at this point. That I just got off the phone with a friend of mine. And he's saying that there's still a ton of people over there, that he's over there in north of Pampanga, in a more rural area, more provincial area, kind of out in the provinces. They said that there's still a ton of people that are trained to wear the face mask well enough that they're still wearing a face mask. And yeah, I guess they were having a really bad time with that one health pass that even Rod from Amazing Philippines made comment that about it, that they just were having issues with it, and now they've scrapped it and are going to this e-arrival card. But it's the same thing, same info, same everything. But they did add country of origin or something like that to it that the one health pass didn't have. Going out around in the Phoenix area, that I see a few people wearing them, but not that many. It's nowhere near what it was when we left, and definitely not anything close to what it was at its peak. Hopefully this is over, and I would still like to try and get back for a couple weeks in January, February. Don't really see it happening too terribly well for a few reasons. And the first and foremost is do not want to get caught up with this 5-day quarantine getting in. But I've got some paperwork that I need to take care of in the Philippines that I don't think can be done remotely. I'm hoping at worst case it that we can figure out a way to do it remotely. And as long as the governments can do panic that they're gonna keep trying, that they're sadly gonna keep trying. It's how they keep control on stuff. But we're making yeah, I gotta change topics off that altogether. That topic's been beat to death more times than I want to count. Uh we're actually making plans for Chana's birthday. That we've got a friend of ours that he's an event planner, and he plans. He does a lot more high end events, and he was really cool about it. And he said that yeah, that it would be kind of expensive for him to go do it for us. But what he would do is allow us to rent some of his stuff and allow us to do the setup and kind of be an advisor for it to just kind of give best clues, best suggestions on how he could envision it happening. He's also going to come in and he is going to do the photography for the event. I love doing the photo video, but I just don't have, being an active part of it, I won't have the time to do it. I am going to do a live stream of the dedication, of the actual baby dedication. And I got a friend of mine, I need to get with him and ask him if he would mind just monitoring and doing the live stream. So it will be live streamed at least on YouTube, possibly Facebook as well. I need to play around a little bit in the next week or two and see if I can get it to smoothly do both. So that said, anybody that isn't going to be able to attend directly, you're still welcome to come out and check it out through a live stream as well. We've rented a park here in Phoenix. Well, not a park. We've rented a pavilion area in a park. And surprisingly, City of Phoenix, that there was no charges for the reservation. You can have amplified music as long as you keep it to a respectful volume. They said no microphones, so we're going to kind of ignore that one and keep it to a respectful volume and keep it down to a minimum during the baby dedication alone, and that's it. But other than that, not do anything and not do any microphone stuff. And just kind of have a good time for a few hours and celebrate her birthday and get to have everybody meet up and get to see her and take some good photos and all that fun stuff and be part of her first birthday. We've got a friend of ours that's doing the yeah, okay. I must be getting popular. I'm getting a we're going to remove those last ones. There we go. Yeah, I don't know how to block it from here, but there we go. We put them in timeout. But anyways, we're planning on that being a really good fun time. Let's see what else has been going on. not a whole lot other than that's been going on. And I did manage to get some more of the painting done. Painting is taking a back seat this week. That the Filipina that normally watches, the lady that normally watches Chana, is going to be gone Thursday, Friday. So she won't be able to watch Chana on Friday. And so I got her. So I did some house cleaning today that was going to get done with some pretty strong chemical to pine sol and all that fun stuff that I really didn't want Shauna to be around for when I did that in-depth cleaning. And this weekend it rained all freaking weekend here. So it was way too wet to paint Monday. But I did get a bunch more house cleaning and some other stuff done. And then, like I say, today, yesterday, I was with Mark helping him and watching Jana. And then, today, knowing that I wasn't going to have the time Friday to do it, that I just said, heck with it. And I need to get that cleaning done. So I was going to do that and possibly try to do some cleaning Friday. But there's an Asian event or a Filipino event or something like that coming this weekend. So I may not be able to do that. And then on top of that, we've got a birthday party on Saturday that I got to go, that we're supposed to go to. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it done then. The big thing is I did at least get the front of the house painted and looking decent. It still needs some touch-up work that I was going to do as we went along, go back and do some of the touch-up as we was painting the other end of the end of the house and that. But such is life. It's either hire this stuff done and suffer the payment, the expense, or do it yourself and suffer the delays and everything else, getting it done. It kind of gives me something to do, so I enjoy doing it. I need to figure out a way to make some kind of video about me doing it because, to be bluntly honest, other than these live streams, my channel's dying. We had wanted to do a little bit more on marriage, and that's something that I'm just not entirely, because it's being done by a lot of other channels, and I'm not sure that would be a great niche to be in, but it could be worth it a couple of videos to see what happens. Starting to do a little bit more drone work that another friend of ours, Jane and Russell, that Russell is starting to do some video. Matter of fact, he's starting to do a channel. I'm not sure if it's my phone or what, but I'm buffering. That's not good. Okay, it's not buffering anymore. But he's starting to do some drone work. And the other day that, not this Monday, but the previous Monday, him and I went up and did some drone flying in a park nearby, up by Lake Pleasant, matter of fact. And he's saying that he really enjoyed it and would like to get out and try to do that a little bit more. That his job, he works Tuesday through Saturday and is off Sunday, Monday. And so with being off on Monday, a lot of these parks and stuff like that aren't terribly busy during the week. And so we may hit up some of these more remote areas and just do some video and do some drone flights and just get some decent stick time in. He actually went through and got his Part 107 license. I kind of prefer not having one just for the plausible deniability issue. Yeah, I didn't know. I've got a license. I'm not a pro. This thing's under 250 grams. I don't need all of that stuff. Uh, I do try to keep a check on stuff that I do plan on trying to take up a little bit of a shot while we're there at the park. And there is an exemption that, as long as it's properly registered and it's for informational gathering purposes, you can fly them in a park. And so what I'm hoping to do is just get up, get a couple quick shots, and back down and be done with it. And again, that it's properly registered because it's under 250 grams, so it doesn't need to be registered. And uh, it by not being a licensed pilot, I can fall back on that a little bit. And like I say, if I get it up, get the shots, get back down, get it out of sight, I don't think there's going to be any kind of an issue to it. Whereas if you go up and try to do a lot of silly stuff and a lot of maneuvers and stuff, that there may be an issue. Discretion goes a long way. A little bit of a money scam, but also a little bit of a control measure. And sadly, there's going to be a lot of idiots out there with drones, just doing absolutely bizarre, stupid stuff. We've got some guy in the neighborhood that's got a drone of some kind. I don't know what, but he tends to fly it after dark through the neighborhood. It's never came over close to the house or anything like that, but you have seen it going around more on the other side of the collector than on this side. But again, that's not, it's not legal to do that without some restrictions and crap like that. And we're actually right at the edge of an airport warning zone. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, you're getting a lot of silly people doing silly things with drones to where they at least have to appear that they're doing something. And I've heard fairly reliable rumor, but still rumor, of some of these people like posting to YouTube and posting drone video to YouTube that's monetized, getting busted for not being licensed. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going with I don't want the license. I just kind of like to fly under the radar and just be at peace with things and use some discretion in what I do and where I do it at. I do try to get information about the areas that I do want to fly into to make sure that I'm not doing something unintentionally stupid. A lot of the city parks here in Phoenix, there's not really a whole big reason to be in them. But there are a couple that is kind of nice to be in. But most of them are no drone zones. And so I just go find someplace nearby in the area and go fly to. I don't fly over people's houses generally. I do fly through this neighborhood a little bit, and don't necessarily, I won't hover over somebody's neighborhood, over somebody's house. If I'm stopping in mid-flight, I'll try and run up and down the road to begin with. But if I stop somewhere, I will definitely stop over a road, not over somebody's house, and just try to use some common sense and reason, some common sense. There was an accident down here that I thought really hard about it, and went to fly. Thought about taking the drone up and fly down and check it out. But then short bit later, the police helicopter showed up. So I'm very glad I did not do that. and again, you're not supposed to be flying over emergency scenes and stuff like that. So just because of the, if they needed to get in a medevac copter or something like that, that could, there could be an issue if the copter pilot sees a drone in the air, that they will fly off. They will not. Uh, then they're not going to take the risk. But which is part of the reason why I won't fly too close to a hospital. Even though a hospital is not a no-fly zone, just because of potential of something like a medevac flight or something like that showing up. And again, by the time you could hear one in time to get a drone on the ground quick enough that you wouldn't have to necessarily worry about it. But just not having to, I'd rather just avoid the situation to start from. And that's kind of what I mean by using common sense. There's some big construction sites going on over here up on the outskirts of town that I'm thinking about taking a drone and flying over the construction sites just to see what's going on, and a little bit peace, a little bit curiosity, a little bit just, drone practice. But again, I'm trying to use a little bit of reason, common sense and reasonability, being reasonable about it, and not doing it during a busy time of the day or something like that. Probably do it on a weekend where there's not a whole lot of workers around. Now, something like that, I may not be, that I might be interested in. That something like that I might be interested in, and I could see that. But I'm not a real big fan of having my name on paperwork anywhere that I've had any kind of any specific level of training. That what I wouldn't mind doing, and I've thought about this, is getting the 107, the Part 107 study book and paperwork. I may look into that one. But just to get personally familiar with what would be expected of a licensed pilot, and that way I can get an idea of what a better handle on what is and is not acceptable and what would and would not be acceptable. But yeah, there's a lot of areas around here. Like going up to Sedona, a lot of those areas would be a ton of fun to fly in, but a lot of that area is shut down to drone use, and so you're not able to go flying. And I've seen a couple drones being flown in there, but I don't know how the forest rangers and the people will handle it. How much of a sense of humor they would have about it. I don't know. It just there's too many idiots, and one of our other friends made comment is these drones are getting to be cheap enough that you're getting a lot of people that should never be allowed out in public, much less have a drone. And sadly, yeah, that's kind of what's going on. They're fun. They are, and that yeah, that they are. They're getting inexpensive enough that yeah, you're getting a lot of people that have more money than good sense, and that they're the ones that are causing a lot of the problems. But that's true with everything. That here in Phoenix, we've been having a problem with these street racers taking over intersections and doing stupid crap like that. And again, it's it's a bunch of these hot rodders and crap like that have more money than sense, and I don't know. There's a fairly significant portion of people out there that do that. They lack the good sense that God gave a gnat. Uh, but it definitely makes for some interesting times. Uh, that's really all that I've got going on right now. As I know more with Marky, that I will start posting some more updates. That it's too bad that situation happened, but I am glad that he did finally get here. But again, it says a lot about two different things. One, the medical community in the Philippines. Don't get me wrong. I had a lot of dental work done. I have no problem with that type of stuff. I was actually trying to get into an oral surgeon to have some work done. I don't have a problem with simple routine stuff. If I ever had to have an appendix pulled out over there, I wouldn't think twice about it. But anything major, yeah, you want to get out of country. Rod from Amazing Philippines made comment. He knows three different cases recently that there were people that had terminal diagnosis. That they had extreme diagnosis, and so beat feet back to their home country instead of getting it taken care of there in the Philippines, only to find out it was a misdiagnosis, that it was wrong. And so I'm kind of hoping that's maybe what happened with Marky, is that they saw something, because they admitted that there was that there doesn't look to be a polyp or something in there that needed to be taken care of, which is why they're redoing the colonoscopy. But yeah, anything major, anything cancerous, anything advanced procedure, cardiac surgery or something like that, yeah, that the Philippines is not the place to be. You need to have a gallbladder pulled out. By all means, go to the Philippines. Not a problem. Just make sure you go to a better high-end hospital and that you have the money to pay for it. Because that was the other thing that Marky was facing, is that they wanted the money up front, and he just didn't have $8,000-$10,000 to put up for cancer surgery and all that crap, which was the main reason why he came back. But it also kind of says a lot about California, that because of everything going on over there, he tried for a couple weeks. Very cool. I'm glad you were able to join us, Daniel. I appreciate the support on the channel. Thank you. And you take care. And I'm actually getting ready to log off here too. But with California, that all the silliness and nonsense going on over there, all the undocumented migrants, that they're so clogging up the system and that was something he was having a problem with, is that they were flat out telling him that that it's the homeless there that they're dealing with. That he made the mistake of telling him that he did have a place to stay when he went in, and they're saying you're not homeless at this point. And he tried to tell him, I'm going to be in a few days. And well, you're not. So when you get homeless, come back and we'll redo your paperwork. And so now that but yeah, that he had to get out of there and get it taken care of here. But here he goes into a hospital and gets admitted and it's taken care of that day. So yeah, that says a lot about the medical system there. The other thing is, anybody that's in Phoenix, on any of the viewers that are in Phoenix on the 30th, message me, and you are definitely invited to Chana's birthday. And that there will be a live stream of at least the baby dedication, and probably a little bit of a live stream during there, just to see what to share the event. But that kind of brings us up to today. So from Phoenix, mabuhay.